right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and we've got people already in the party room ready to chitter-chatter about whatever it is that we can get at her. All right, it looks like we've got Crow in the house saying, potato. You know what, Crow? That might be a beautiful thing to start talking about because I have not a lot to talk about, and I do love potatoes, so perhaps we will talk about potatoes. However, we might not have to talk about potatoes. Before we talk about anything, I want to say, hey Raiders, how's it? Good to see you. Terry in Scotland coming in with 5 folks. I was just over there watching him play Sea of Thieves. I'm guessing Bainy Bo and Katie Zora came over with that there Terry raid along with Pinnell. I am not sure who else was on that raid, but I'm thinking that maybe Rick might have been on that raid too, because I think I saw Rick over there in that there room earlier as well. Looks like we got Darlene in the house, eMusic saying aloha, and let's see here, Mama Sean also here, Gina asking everybody how's it, and Shock letting us know the, excuse me, the skadooli that we've got here. Who else we got? Lady Misty in the house, Gina Gamba, 40, no wait, is 7th Street, no, yeah, Gina's been watching us for a while, 7 stream streak. That was really hard to say. Anyway, all right, we got Rick, we got Mama Sean, we got Lady Misty. Okay, cool. And then, of course, we've got Crow with potato. And you like giving inspiration. Well, that's good, baby doll, because we need a little bit of inspiration today. I don't necessarily have a whole heck of a lot to talk about, but I do want to say thank you, Andre, for gifting that gift sub. And it looks like DJ Smook definitely came in on that raid, because I know DJ Smook was on Terry's ship a little while ago. And Bainy Bo, I'm kind of doing good, but you know, I'm struggling to figure out something to talk about today. We've got a few different things, and Lord knows we are good at scattering the chatter. So hopefully we will find our way around a strange number of topics today. And honestly, I really don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. So Andre in the house talking about reading books, I guess. And then let's see here. Seattle rooftop bars. Crow, do we have any rooftop bars in Seattle? Honestly, I don't really know of any rooftop bars. I do know that there's some, top floor restaurants and the like, but actual rooftop bars, really honestly, the weather is just so hit and miss here. I just don't know what we have. And yes, Bainy Bo did freak me out there earlier today, you guys, and I will tell you this much. I was in Terry in Scotland's Twitch feed. He was playing the game. I thought that I was just watching. And I opened my traditional pamplemousse, and I took a really big swig, and then I ripped out a burp like nobody burped before. No sooner did I rip out the biggest burp that I've ever burped, does Bainy Bo post up on Terry's feed, "You're streaming, Molly." Holy flirkin' y'all. I about had a fit. As it turns out, I wasn't streaming. What they meant to say, sorry, Bainy, I don't know if you're, I don't know how you identify. So what they meant to say was, "When are you streaming, Molly?" But the "when are you" didn't quite come out. And so for just half a second, I was horrified for myself and for all y'all. But as it turns out, it was just a false alarm, a false burp alarm. And I know, Lady Misty, it was, seriously, it was a heart attack moment. It was very funny. So now that I've confessed to you my embarrassing sins for the day, why don't we get this party started? Okay, so Even though I didn't just burp there, I did mean to mute my mic. So if you heard me doing gulp, 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 that was me. You didn't just make that up. And we'll see what happens next, shall we? Yes, we'll see what happens next. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Mama Sean. Timing is everything. And yes, it would have been awesome and funny if I did rip that burp in front of everybody, honestly, but oh, still. All right, you guys, so let's see here. Like I said earlier, not a whole lot to talk about, but one thing I can tell you is last stream, I showed you some Olympic coverage, and this stream, I won't be showing you that. Yeah. I was contacted. It's been blocked worldwide. Yeah, they noticed I stole the stuff. All that stuff I bragged about stealing, yeah, they noticed I stole it. And they've basically blocked it. So, yeah, that, I won't be doing that. But we will talk a little bit about surfing today. And what we're going to be talking about in regards to surfing is this. Check this out. Many of you who are familiar with surfing and or skateboarding terms know that there's a stance called goofy foot. And goofy foot is generally, they call it like the left-hander's stance, but basically it's when you apparently have your right foot forward. And it's called goofy foot. And I never I just thought it was called goofy foot because it's not what people normally do. But no, apparently this little term was coined because not in the 1950s. This movie came out in 1937. There's a Disney movie where Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Pluto and Donald Duck all go to the Hawaiian Islands, and it's their little Hawaiian vacation. And in that particular cartoon, you get to see Goofy with his right foot forward. And apparently anybody who does surfing or skateboarding regularly knows that's not what most people do naturally. Most people put their left foot forward. And so hence Goofy foot term has been was created. And so I thought that was a very interesting little tidbit there. And so I thought I would share it with you guys. And for the most part, that's about as close to Olympic coverage as I'm going to be getting on this stream. And Andre, the big man at your door, giving you a veiled threat, aka the polite warning backed by a scary guy. No, actually, nobody at my door. And luckily it wasn't a copyright strike. But YouTube did politely say, yeah, we've blacked out that entire segment of your stream and no one in the entire world is going to get to see it. Because sometimes they only black out for certain countries. Like, we can't show this in Romania. I've had a couple things where it's just like, really, you can't show that in Romania? Okay, it's no big deal. I don't think there's a lot of people in Romania that watch my show. But this stuff, well, it's worldwide. And so basically what I need to do is I need to go and edit it out. But I haven't done that yet. So if you do end up seeing last stream on YouTube and you're like, why is it all blacked out for like 6.5 minutes? That's why. It's the surfing recap that I showed, and the Olympics said no. And yes, Darlene, exactly. At least they didn't ban me and they didn't give me an official copyright strike, because I have a couple more weeks left, and then because I have a copyright strike already from back in April when we showed the Merry Monarch hula competitions for the last 2 days. And dude, I got so many viewers, subs, watching hours for that. It was wonderful. And then the Merry Monarch Festival said, yeah, no cannot at. And so then the YouTube said, on behalf of the Merry Monarch Festival, no can. And by the way, now you've got an official strike. They could have given me 2 strikes because it was 2 different streams, but luckily they only gave me 1 strike. They removed the content forcibly. They didn't leave it up to me. They removed the content forcibly from my stream, and good thing I downloaded it, because I actually have it still. But I didn't get a strike for the Olympic footage. I still have a strike on my record for the Merry Monarch footage. The strike goes away after 90 days. So I'm on the verge of having that strike removed from my record. That being said, it would have sucked to get another strike right, boom, at the end of that 90 days. So yeah, so that's good. That's good. And the Olympics are extremely strict about copyright. Oh, Gina, you don't even know. I mean, well, obviously you have an idea, but you are so totally right on the money there. There is this strange coincidence. There's this place in Washington State called the Olympic Peninsula. It's actually, you know, a geographic name for a physical feature of our state. And the reason why it's called the Olympic Peninsula is because Mount Olympus is on that peninsula. It's the biggest mountain on that peninsula. It's Mount Olympus, because we have one of those too in Washington State. Hence, Olympic Peninsula. And let me tell you, dude, all over the place on the Olympic Peninsula, there are plenty businesses that are like Olympic coffee source, Olympic bookstore, Olympic blah, 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 Olympic, you know, this, that, and t'other, whatever. And every year, dude, at least one of these stores gets a cease and desist letter from the Olympics, or not necessarily the International, you know, Committee for the Olympics. They get cease and desist letters because they've got Olympic in their name, and then, you know, and then they promptly ignore them. But yeah, they definitely go out of their way to defend their copyright, abso-flippin-lutely. And let's see here. Looks like everybody is, Rick, don't give them any more evidence. And yes, Andre, imagine if Disney owned the Olympics, there would be a big man at the door. Honestly, to tell you the truth, my friend, for a second, I did hesitate even just showing that picture, because Disney does not fool around. I think Terry knows that. I think Terry has had a copyright strike on one of his channels before, thanks to the Big D. And I do know that when I was in college, one of my friends' bands got sued by Disney because they had merchandise of these like sweatpants, and it was they sold them on their tour, on their West Coast tours, because they always called they had a little tour circuit that their band would go on that was like maybe a 5-day little tour of, you know, 5 different cities or whatever, and they called it the mini tour. Actually, it's not what they called it. They called it the effin' mini tour, the flippin' mini tour, the forkin' mini tour. Not really, you know what I'm saying, right? I'm not going to say it, but they called it the mini tour. And as merchandise for the effin' mini tour, they had sweatpants that showed Mickey and Minnie effin'. And they were really funny sweatpants, and they sold a lot of them. Well, one day, somebody at Disney saw those sweatpants, and boy, oh boy, did they, yeah, they stopped selling those. Not only did they stop selling those sweatpants, they refused to give the remainder away, and they basically were like, no, we're just burning them. We can't, we're too poor and we got too scared. So no, you can't have them. Even though we're not allowed to sell them anymore, we're not going to give them away to you either. We're just going to burn them. Yeah. Some tiny little heavy metal band out of Olympia, Washington. Disney managed to hear or see all about them. Yeah. And, let's see, Andre, there used to be a Greek airline named Olympic Air, and I was on one of the airplanes that was named the Olympic Torch. Horrible name for an airplane. I thought, yeah, that is a bad name for an airplane. I don't know if I would want to. I don't know if I'd want to get on the Olympic torch. I mean, yeah, no, oh my. And that's right, it's the Fudging Mini Tour. That's exactly it. And Andre, I wonder if Disney got a person looking for a Mickey Mouse porn, and damn, what a messed up job. Andre, you know that they must, right? Because there must... I had never thought of that before, but you're right. There probably is a whole unit on just quashing Disney porn. Because there's a lot of porn that is animated. And why did you even have to put that thought in my head? Well, they found the band, they found the band because of the sweatpants, and they did, one of the stops in that 5-city tour was Los Angeles. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility that a Disney exec saw those pants in the wild, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know how the Disney exec saw or found what they did, nor do I even know how they traced it back to the band in Olympia. But you know, whatever. And Terry in Scotland, season 2 on Reservation Dogs is downloading as we speak. Here's to piracy. Well, you know, I am planning on getting my my graphics card updated so I can sail the Sea of Thieves with Terry and go pirating. So pirate talk is definitely appropriate. Speaking of my gaming desires, for those of you who don't know, Terry in Scotland, he is a gamer on Twitch, along with Katie's Aura and a few other folks who sometimes pop in here. And right now they're playing a game called Sea of Thieves. It's super pretty. It's basically about being a pirate at sea, and I have become kind of obsessed with it. So I'm gonna dip my toe in the world of gaming. I have a new graphics card that is in the mail on the way to me as we speak. In theory, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. That being said, I don't know if I'll be able to install it tomorrow, just because I don't know. I don't know. And then when I was talking to Shock today, she was like, well, your power source might not be up to it, and so even though I have a better card on the way, I still might not have a computer that's able to handle this game. So we'll see, but one day I might become a gaming streamer. A gaming streamer, but that's probably not gonna happen. Instead, I'm just gonna be a pirate streamer of my own way, and we're gonna watch Reservation Dogs together at some point. I'm not sure when we're gonna watch Reservation Dogs, but you guys will be the first to know. What I can tell you, though, is this Saturday, we're going to be watching Chinatown, which is a Roman Polanski film starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. It is a film noir, beautiful wardrobe, cars, just, oh god, it's so it's just lovely to look at. But also it's interesting in the sense that it relates a little bit to what is going on in the Central Valley of California now in the modern era with water use, etc. And so hopefully you guys will join all of us here at Chatter with Statter. Hopefully you guys will end up at the cinema this Saturday so we can watch Chinatown. And then the week after Chinatown, we're going to watch The Dark Crystal. And I was inspired to watch The Dark Crystal thanks to the David Bowie movie Labyrinth that we showed a few weeks ago at Statterbox at the cinema. And to my memory, and I only know this from a child's perspective, to my memory, The Dark Crystal was a better movie than Labyrinth. So now as an adult, we will see if that opinion still holds true. And let's see here. And Darlene, you popped in quickly to catch Terry's Pirate Crane before coming here, and what you saw briefly looked fun. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's I mean, honestly, it's really kind of a stupid game. You're just stealing stuff on a ship, but I mean, it's just, but oh, it's so pretty, and it's just so, I'm obsessed with it. It's dumb. It's dumb. But you know what? I was obsessed with the American Truck Simulator, and I don't even know how on earth somebody even pitched that game to such a degree that people were like, yes, this sounds brilliant. But American Truck Simulator, in case you guys don't know, is basically you're driving a long haul trucking truck across the highways of America. That's the game. Oh my God, I love it. It's just so awesome. What? That's just the dumbest game ever. I know, it's so awesome. I don't know. So there you go. Obviously, gamers know what's good more than I know what's good. And Darlene, you like the movie Waterworld? Yeah, I've never seen that movie. So I have no opinion on that. But it sounds like Rick and Darlene are going to have to miss Chinatown this week, because they're going to be up at the cabin. Fan flippin-tastical. And let's see here. Andre, you played an old school pirate game on an old Xbox, and it was fun. I can only imagine what you can do with the pirates with these better consoles and computers. Oh yeah, Andre, seriously, dude, if you've got time and Terry's on Twitch, go watch the graphics, the water, the waves, the ocean, the whole, it's just amazing. It's kind of soothing to watch, I think. And Benny Bo, I was telling Terry about how I was in the store today on the mobility scooters at the front door, and I beeped the horn, beep, 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 and the security stopped people going out because of the horn. What a practical joke. That is really, for the most part, that's kind of a harmless practical joke. That's funny. That's funny. And hey there, Devin, good to see you. You too dabble in piracy. You use Usenet. Do you download from the torrents? Devin, I do not, because the torrent feeds are beyond me. But somebody that I know who shall remain nameless unless they wish to identify themselves does use the torrents, and then he feeds me what he collects, and then I show them. So, yeah. And then let's see here, we've got Lithix. Wait, Lithix? I'm gonna say first time chat is coming from Lithix. Ahoy. Forgive me if I am pronouncing your name wrong, but I think I'm saying it right. Glad to be here. Glad you're here. I'm Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. You're now part of the Statterbox crew, and right now we are talking about a whole lot of nothing. Video games, actually, is what we're talking about, but we could talk about potatoes. Potatoes are good. And let's see here. See Honda, also good to see you coming on in. And yeah, eMusic, that's what I understand. The Waipio Valley on Hawaii Island is like where they eventually dock up or something when the water world finds the land or something. I don't know the movie. I just don't know the movie. So, alrighty, let's see here. Okay. Okay. Your points claim is broke. Honestly, I don't know if it's broken or not. I don't have anything to claim points with. If you're talking about your watcher points or whatever, I don't have anything for you guys to cash in for. I don't know how to do that. I don't have any of those. So I don't know if it's broken or if it's just not there. And hey, DJ Smook, I see that you're throwing down the Musubis. The Musubi emote is the word I'm looking for. And and I just read right before I started the stream that they're thinking about making United States 7-Elevens more like Japanese 7-Elevens with all of the pre-made foods like the onigiri and the hand rolls and the musubis and all of that. And so and they're bringing them not just Hawaii. Hawaii already has like the closest sort of version, but they're actually thinking about doing this on the mainland, the continental United States as well. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know the details because I literally saw the headline right before I came on stream. And when can we start talking about potatoes? First off, we can totally talk about potatoes right now. How about mashed potatoes? Do you cook them in the milk that you mash them with, or do you boil them in water? And Lithics, you would not get any of those things at the 7-Eleven here. Where is your 7-Eleven? Roughly. You don't have to be like, well, it's on 132nd Street next to blah, blah, blah. But you know, what? Where are you coming from roughly, Lithics? Are you in the United States? Are you in Europe? Are you, where are you at? I guess is what we're wondering. North Carolina. Yeah, no, they probably wouldn't be selling the musubis or the onigiris anytime soon in North Carolina. But it sounds like they are going to be trying to sell more pre-made foods the way the Japanese ones are done, I guess. I don't really know. I haven't read the article yet. And Lithics, you just boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. All right, there you go. Stick them in a stew. But what if you just want regular mashed taters? Can't you just mash your taters and leave them out of the stew? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of mashed potatoes in a stew. Are you pulling my leg? Mashed potatoes in the stew. Okay. I guess that just makes it like really thick. See, I would put my stew on top of my mashed potatoes and then mix it on my plate. Because that's what I would do. And let's see here. Oh, yep, Terry, if you want a pirate video, I'm in the alley behind Main Street. I'm the one in the black leather jacket, trench coat. That is exactly it. And DJ Smook, shepherd's pie for days with the mashed taters on top. Whoa, and not just the mashed potatoes, though. What I really like about the mashed potatoes on top of a shepherd's pie is usually you like sort of broil it in the broiler. Okay, that's a little redundant. You broil it in the broiler, so the mashed taters get a little bit crispy on top. And let's see here. Ebi's like, you use mashed potato in stew sometimes to thicken the broth. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And let's see here. You went to Spudman. It was good. I don't know what Spudman is, but I feel like I would enjoy eating there. Because I pretty much like taters. You know, taters are good. And Mitchie Mama, you're going to make shepherd's pie tonight. Awesome. Now, when you make shepherd's pie, do you make it real shepherd's pie with the sheeps? With little sheepy sheeps? Or do you make it the American style with the beefy beefs? Because here's the deal, y'all. Shepherd's pie technically is sheep, or mutton, or lamb. That's why it's called shepherd's pie. And it's called cottage pie when it's beef. And it's called garden pie when it's vegetarian. And it's called hunter's pie when it's like venison or elk or something else wild caught. I learned that once. I went on a deep dive on the pies. Okay, cottage pie then. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. That everybody calls it shepherd's pie though. And Lady Misty, potatoes, tomato sauce, cream cheese is good. Whoa, okay, wait. All right, okay. I've got a lot of things to comment on here. First off, Texas barbecue stuff, loaded spuds, sounds good. And MHM, this guy's potatoes are like really good quality. I don't know what MHM is, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But Lady Misty, this is actually who you stopped me in my tracks. Potato, tomato sauce, and cream cheese is good. It's close to a Canadian dish. Explain to me more about this. Is it a baked potato with tomato sauce and cream cheese? Boiled potato with tomato sauce and cream cheese? This is a very strange combination. I have literally never heard of it in my life, and It sounds weird, which means I kind of want to try it. That might be one of those things that are like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. And then you try it and you're like, I don't know if I like it. I better try some more to make sure. I don't know if I like it. I better try some more to make sure. I don't know if I like it. I better try some more to make sure. And then you realize that you ate the whole pot, and so you must like it just a little bit. With mashed potatoes, tomato sauce, and cream cheese. That is... Oh, I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to have to try that. And, let's see here. Benny Bo, the last time your parents gave you cottage pie, you threw it at the floor. Well, I hope you were a little kid, my friend. The last time my parents gave me beets, I spit them all over the room, but I was just a baby. But doing that made it so they never gave me beets again. And, Lithics, what is it called if you just chuck a bunch of pickles in it? It's called a pickled pot pie. I don't know. It's called a pickle pie, I guess. A peck of pickled pie. And Andre, you hate beets. You know, I think I do too. I've been told my whole life that I hate them, so I just believe that. So wait, you were 18 when you threw the cottage pie on the floor, Mr. Man? That's not a good look, dude. And Mitchie Mama, you love pickled beets with mayo. Like, how do you... What? Like, so do you dip the pickled beet in the mayo? I'll let you have them. I'll let you have all of them. And Panel, all kinds of poutine around here, even a jerk chicken one. Weird. Wow. For those of you who might not be familiar with what poutine or poutine is, oh, there was a good reason for it? Okay, all right. I'll let that one slide. Just like the cottage pie slid across the floor. And, it wasn't just for the sake of it. Gotcha. Let's see here. You saw a dish, Andre. Oh, Andre, sometimes I really wish you would just not say things like this. I saw a dish where they had pickled eggs and pickled hot dogs. I didn't need to know about pickled hot dogs, my friend. I mean, I'm already traumatized enough with Vienna sausages. Oh my goodness. Do you happen to remember, because I'm a glutton for punishment, Andre, and you already put this in my mind, do you happen to remember what that was a dish for, what it was a dish called, what it was? And Terry in Scotland, most chickens are jerks. That is true. If you let them bite your ankles, they will. And, Mitchie Mama, you can mix peas, diced onions, pickled beets, cut up into small pieces, all mixed with mayo. Oh, like a salad sort of thing. Okay, I was envisioning you dipping wet pickled beets in a pile of mayonnaise, and that was just weird. Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know what oil protesters you guys are talking about. I mean, I know that there's... Oh, there we go. I know that lots of people protest oil, but I don't know what the oil... Apparently Terry called the oil protesters jerks, but I don't even know what oil protesters... But... Oh my god, you guys! Words are jarred. Hey there, Ivan. Good to see you. We are talking about food. We were talking about potatoes for a minute, but then we switched to beets. And now we accidentally started talking about pickled hot dogs, but we're trying to change the subject on that. Oh yeah, and now an oil protesters got thrown in there too. But I think we're not talking about food oil. I think we're talking about like car oil with that. So we kind of are doing a little bit of our scattering at the moment. And oh, the fossil fuel protesters who spray paint all over and then sit on the floor and shout. Got it. Well, Well, that doesn't sound very tasty, Terry, and so I don't know if we're going to continue talking about that. And, and let's see here. Okay, so Andre's coming in. Pickled eggs, sausage, and onions. 6 hard-boiled eggs, peeled. I can do that. 1 pound sausage of your choice, such as kielbasa or smoked. I could do that. 1 onion thinly striped. But then there's the full recipe that we don't have. So, all right, there we go. You're a fan of number 1 of McFry. You're a fan number 1 of McFries. Nice. The McDonald's French fries are quite tasty. I'm not gonna lie, they really are. And let's see here. Darlene, you saw a recipe for Spam and eggs. It looked good, simple but yummy. Take a smaller cookie cutter and cut a round shape in a slice of Spam. Crack an egg into it and fry. Okay. And do I know Cholula sauce? I'm not sure I can remember which one it is. Is that the one with the wooden top? It's a hot sauce. I do know that. I just can't remember which one. Is it the one with the wooden lid on the bottle? I think it's the one with the chick on the label, right? It's like a yellow label, I think. But it's got a woman and then okay, yeah, it's the hot sauce with the wooden top and the lady on. Yes, as it turns out, I do know what Cholula is. Yes, I do. I don't think I've got it in my fridge. I know I've got Tapatio and one other one in my fridge. I don't know if it's Cholula, though. I have been thinking about getting some chamoy and some tahine, but I can only find both the chamoy and the tahine in really big bottles. And I don't really want to buy really big bottles because I don't know if I like it yet. But I keep seeing all these Hispanic people putting chamoy and tahine and lime on their like watermelon or like their mango, like all their fruit. And everybody seems to love it. And I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, I might like it. I might like it. Why? I want to try it. I might like it. But I also don't want to spend $10 on 2 bottles of seasoning that I might not like. So, yeah. And, let's see here. They have tahine in travel size too. Yeah, just not at the stores that I go to. Because just the other day I realized what a strange old lady I've become. So, this is, I wish I was joking. I wish this was a bit, but it's not. It's not. It's totally true. First off, I don't know if you guys are familiar. Some of you might not be familiar with what these things are. But these things right here, these are known as checkbooks, right? And I pay my bills by writing checks. And some of my bills, the people that I pay them to, the agencies are so close to my house that I don't even mail the bills. I pay the bills in person at the desk with a check that I wrote out to the person behind the desk. Right. And then when I go grocery shopping, I have a green grocer that I get my vegetables and my produce, my vegetables and my milk from, and my eggs. And then I have a butcher that I get my meat from. And then I have a Mexican grocery store that I get my Mexican stuff from. I have pretty much, I don't go to the big name grocery stores anymore. I have turned into this strange French woman who only wants to shop for what I need that day in a tiny locally run store. Yeah. Oh, Mitchie Mama, I don't write a check at the grocery store. No, I don't. No, that's just for my electrical bill, my water bill, my garbage bill, you know, that. But no, when it comes to the grocery store, oh heck no, dude. I run that card. And honestly though, I don't really mind when people write a check at the grocery store. What I mind is when they don't write their check until they get their total. It's like, dude, you know you're in Safeway. You know you're gonna have to have the signature. You know what date it is. You can get half of this check written out before your cash register is done. Like, come on, hop to it. Hop to it. There's a little table in front of you where you can do it while you're watching the cashier scan the stuff. You can put in Safeway. You can put in July 31st, 2024. You can even write your name. All that's left is $161,583, which is what your groceries are going to cost these days. And yeah, it takes a little while to write out, but at least you just need to write out the numbers and then the written out numbers. It really does cut on time. It's not July 31st? No, it's July 31st where I'm at, hon. It might be August 1st where you're at, but I'm still in the past. I'm still in the past. You're ahead of us. You're ahead of me. You freaked me out there for a second. I had to look at my calendar to make sure because I had a doctor's appointment today. I thought I knew what day it was today. And let's see here. You're more of a credit card person, is that what you're saying? Ivan, you're more of a credit card boy. Right. Yeah, I try to do most things with cash, mostly because when I spend cash, I feel it leaving my presence. Whereas when it's just like a debit card, it's just like, oh, I think I'm keeping track of it. And inevitably, I'm not keeping track of it. And so I spend way more money than may have actually been in the account. And so, yeah, there you go. Oops. And let's see here. What were you saying, Andre? There's a restaurant here. Hold on. Mitchie Mama, you almost had the judge sign your divorce papers on July 31st, your wedding anniversary date. That is hysterical. And yeah, Darlene, if you can use your credit card and then pay it off at the end of each month, that actually is the best way to do it. Because you get to accumulate points, etc. But I can honestly say I don't have that financial responsibility. I don't have that financial adherence. I don't end up doing that. Is what the problem is. And eMusic, that's who was saying it. There's a restaurant and small businesses here that only accept checks or cash. Here too, actually. When I brought in James Monet and Andy Bumatai to my town last summer, they came to the Seattle area and did a show. The show was in Renton. They were staying in Renton. Renton is 10 minutes from where I live, but Renton even though only 10 minutes from where I live, it's in a completely different section of the county, and it's a lot more expensive over there. And so I was like, hey, we're going to go back to my hometown where I know things are cheaper. And I brought him to this place called Little Pat's Diner, and they only accept cash or checks. And Andy was so confused because Andy is, he pays with his watch. He pays with Apple Pay everywhere. And so he just didn't even understand an only cash business, how it even could exist. But alas, and so great restaurant that's been around forever, but yeah, only cash. And there's a burger joint in Seattle called Dick's Drive-In. And only, I would say maybe a year ago, did they start accepting debit cards or credit cards. Prior to that, it was cash only. And let's see. This way, I know I can't overspend, for I know how much extra per month we have to spend after the other monthly bills like utilities. Right. Yeah, well, there you go. It makes sense that you can do that. And let's see here. I only use card nowadays. No card or anything. Yeah, I don't. I have a card. I mean, you know, you have to have a card to rent a, what are they called? Car. In order to, they don't do debit cards or anything. So, you know, you have to have a credit card to rent a car. So I do have credit cards. And I have actually kind of like, maxed out one of my credit cards because I had a home repair that literally had to happen or I would have no water in my house. And that was a $3,500 bill that I did not have $35 in my pocket. So, so I was like, well, I guess it's going on the credit card then. So, and let's see here, Ivan, I don't use cash because I spent and wasted the cash like if I was a millionaire, but I'm just a Godine, an office employee. Right. Andre, use cash for food when you can. Otherwise, you just walk out without it. And Mitchie Mama, yeah, those card rewards totally start to add up really, really quickly. And what I like best is sometimes you can use those rewards to pay down your balance on the card that you got the rewards on. And let's see, Pinnell, at the Fort York powwow, you had to ask every vendor what they took. Some took e-transfers, not cards. Interesting. And I guess, I mean, yeah, you know, now that I think about it, I went to a Hawaiian event where there was this guy who was selling smoked meat and pickled onions, and he wouldn't take cash, and nor could he take debit cards. You had to Venmo or PayPal him the money. Yeah. And Lady Misty, isn't my side job an accountant? It absolutely is, Lady Misty, but let me just tell you right now, if you know a car mechanic, his car needs to be worked on. If you know a contractor, his house is in shambles. If you know an accountant, she doesn't balance her own checkbook. That's just how it works. All right, you guys, it is a little bit after our Lono listening break time. So I am going to let you guys listen to a little bit of Lono for a minute. This song is called Silvery Sea, and you can find it on Old School 4. You can download it at LonoMusic.com. And here we go. Let's do it with some Lono listening break. Boop.
Silvery Sea. Key of sea. that sing Molokai melodies for you, my sweetie, to silhouette. shines bright on a silvery sea. That shines bright on a silvery sea.
All right, there we go. You don't remember hearing this tune before. Well, Darlene, if you don't have old style 4, then you might not have heard this one before. Honestly, to me, the song seems really familiar. Like, he has it listed as a song that he wrote, and I have no doubt that it's a song that he wrote, well, with the lyrics being about Molokai, but for some reason, it just sounds really familiar. Alas, I'm obviously confusing it with some other song, but, Rick, good to know that Ted's went cash-free, because I definitely would have, probably not been bringing my cash there. I, not really a fan of cash-free businesses. I've gotten on my soapbox about those before. I really don't appreciate the cash-free situation, but every business does have its own right to run its business. It's the way it wants, to a point. That being said, what got me on my soapbox last time about a cash-free establishment was 7-Eleven down the street from my house. 7-Eleven, I get that mom and pop places might not have the ability to secure their stores, but 7-Eleven is a multinational corporation that really has the money to pay for safekeeping infrastructure for their cash. And since they sell lottery tickets, by definition, they have to be able to cash out at least $100 worth of lottery ticket. Technically speaking, they're supposed to be able to cash out anything under $500, but the Washington Lottery Commission does allow for small mom and pop grocery stores to be an exception. I don't think that 7-Eleven counts as a small mom and pop grocery store, but let's just say they did. They are allowed to only have enough cash on hand to cash out a $100 ticket. Well, when I tried to cash in one of my cards at that 7-Eleven, they said, "We don't even have a till." And I said, "Oh, really?" And so I told on them. Actually, I didn't really mean to tell on them, but I contacted the Washington State Lottery Commission and I said, "Hey, how is it that a store that sells lottery tickets cannot cash out the lottery tickets?" And they got back to me the next day and said, "What store are you talking about? Because that's not how that works. They need to." And I said, "Oh, well, this is where the store is located." And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to be making a visit there this week." And lo and behold, they take cash again. Yeah, I did that. And see, there you go, Rick. CrowdStrike almost made us all go cash only as well. Precisely. Cash free. Oh, God, I'm going to have to stop. Just stop me now. Because I'm really. Cash free is not handy. Cash free is not good for business. All right. There we go. We need to calm ourselves down. We need to calm ourselves down. And by we, I mean me. I need to calm myself down. And yes, eMusic, is that who you? Yes, it was you. You noticed I got new peepers. I got myself some new eyeglasses. Good eye on you there, eMusic. Got myself some glasses this week, finally. And oh my God, y'all. I was blind before. Oh my God, I couldn't believe how much better the world looked after I got my little eyeglasses put back in the way they should be. Because one of my eyes has a cataract in it, apparently, and that cataract has made my vision deteriorate super fast. So one of my eyes has no, it basically has stayed the same my entire life. It just doesn't work. It's like a negative, 4.5, but it's been like that forever. This went from a negative 4.5 to a negative 6.5. And yeah, needless to say, I was pretty blind, and I didn't realize that I was as blind as I was until I got my beautiful new peepers on, and then I could see and stuff. And yes, they are progressives because because the lower one, the close stuff, I used to be at a 1.25, but now I'm at a 2.5. So clearly that's deteriorating as well. But yeah, I do have my progressives. My spare of my old prescription was, let's see, can you see it? These don't, let's see here, can you see? No. They have, I have a regular pair of bifocals too, but these are the old prescription. But at least I can sort of see out of one eye. Out of one eye I can see through the old prescription. But yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was until it really did feel like my glasses were always dirty, which was what prompted me to go to the eye doctor to begin with. Exactly, Rick. My vision usually gets better when I finally clean my glasses. And that's what I felt like. I was in a perpetual state of needing to clean this lens. Well, as it turns out, it didn't matter how clean this lens was. This lens was just not strong enough anymore. Exactly, Mad Eye Statter. Exactly, Molly Glasses. Yep, made her a pirate. You got it. That is exactly it. And Darlene, you're going to have to get the new peepers, but it's basically because your other ones are all scratched up. Your prescription didn't change, your eye doctor said, so that's good. No, that is totally good. And you guys definitely, this is not sponsored by, and results may vary, but I have had a really good run of luck with getting very reasonably priced glasses at a place called Zenni.com. It's an online place. It kind of sucks. You can't try them on and stuff, so you kind of need to figure out, before you order, you kind of need to figure out what works for you, but once you know what works for you, you can pick your glasses and be relatively good with them. But Zenni.com, Zenni.com. These glasses with high index lenses, progressives, no, anti-glare, anti-blah blah blah coating, were like $58 total. Like with shipping and everything, $58. So, at prices like that, you can buy glasses to go with a specific outfit, for goodness sake, right? And so, let's see here. You have to go back because your eye feels cloudy too. It might have to do with pre-diabetic. It might, Michimama, but it also just might be a cataract. And C Honda, it sounds like you use Zenni too. Good for you. Zenni.com. Excellent. Yeah, thanks for posting that, C. Yeah, so see, we've got at least two people here who can vouch for Zenni. And Mama Sean, you got LASIK 20 years ago, and if you can do it, do it. Now cataracts, though. Well, actually, Mama Sean, what my doctor was saying, and he might be lying to me, because I just read what Pinnell wrote, and that's sort of sad. I'm seeing cataracts starting in your eyes again. Another operation, bleh. But my eye doctor was telling me that right now the cataract in my eye isn't bad enough for medical insurance to cover it, and because I don't have eye insurance. But once it gets bad enough, medical insurance can cover it. And he said that not only would the operation be able to take care of the cataract, but it would be able to fix my eyesight anyway. And so I'm kind of excited about that. I realize that sounds horrible. I mean, I don't really want my cataract to progress worse, but if it's going to, and then it means my eyesight's gonna get eventually better, well, that's cool. And let's see here. Andre, you have to get your glasses from a place with big head people. Yes. My friend Perry is like that too, and he was the one who turned me on to Zenni because one of his big-headed friends told him about Zenni. And so you can actually order at Zenni based on the width, the millimeters this this far across your head. You can search for things that are big, basically. So you might have some options at Zenny. I'm not promising that you will, but I am saying that my this sounds so awful. My big-headed friend, but it's a struggle for him to find glasses, hats, etc. He's got a big head, a big noggin. He found some at Zenny. You might have some luck as well. And yeah, exactly, Pinnell. That's what my doctor was saying, is they put lenses in when fixing cataracts. So that's kind of cool. And Darlene, the most important thing that you need to measure is your pupillary distance, which is basically the distance between your pupils. And most people, for most people, their eyes are straight and not cocky-wumpus. So you can just do what's known as a one measurement pupillary distance, which is like the distance from pupil to pupil. So 55 millimeters. But some people, their eyes are not symmetrical. And so those people need to measure from the center of the nose out one direction, and then the center of the nose out to the other direction. And Zenny usually sends a measuring tool with every purchase. And if I had one near me, I would show it to you, but I don't. But you can, literally, you can take a ruler. It's done in millimeters, so you're going to have to get a ruler with millimeters. But I also wouldn't be surprised if your eye doctor has that information already, because anybody who's made your glasses, they have to know your pupillary distance. Andre is bringing up a good point. Pupillary distance is sometimes on your prescription. But not always, Andre. And I say this because this is my prescription literally right now for this. And like I said, you guys, my life is like within arm's reach of this area, pretty much. This prescription actually doesn't have the pupillary distance, but what it does have is it says mono PD, or it has the dual PD. And so, so if your pupils aren't evenly spaced from your nose, you're going to do half and half. But most people can just do a pupil to pupil and just be like, oh, it's 57 millimeters. And, oh, you got yours at Kaiser? Nice. And Mitchie Mama, was this Kaiser? No, this was West Seattle Optics. I don't have eye insurance, and so I just go to the eye doctor that I've gone to since I moved to Seattle in 1997, and he's probably my longest running doctor I've ever had in my entire life. I love him so much. And so I just pay him cash to do the thing. And by the way, y'all, I was stunned. So, 1997, 30 years ago? 30 almost years ago? It's when I started going to him. And the eye exams were $100 30 years ago. $100 for an eye exam with no insurance. $100 for an eye exam, no insurance, 30 years ago. Anyone want to guess what it costs now? 30 years later, no insurance, paying cash. Anyone want to take a guess what an eye exam costs now? $125. No, it's more expensive now, but not that much. But it's $125. I just don't understand. It's 30 years later. How on earth has it only gone up in price by 25%? Everything else has gone up in price in the last 30 years, way more than 25%, especially in the field of medicine. But yeah, I was expecting $200. I was totally expecting to have to shell out $200 for the exam. But now, Rick, you say More expensive back then, $75 now. What makes you say that? Why are you? Because clearly you were on the you already knew where I was going with this. You knew I wasn't complaining about expensive. And yeah, I didn't think it was a very bad. I thought it was a very reasonable raise in price. I mean, when the lady rang me up, I was like, "Is that all?" And she's like, "Well, you can give us more if you want." And I was like, "No, that's okay." And yeah, Mitchie Mama, there you go. When you find a good one in college, I found a dentist to pull wisdom teeth. 2 wisdom teeth for $50 each. Needless to say, I stayed with him and then his son. You better believe it. Absolutely. For sure. Gosh, dang it, man. That's a good little price right there. Because dental is just ridiculously expensive. Yeah, so see, Andre, you're one of those people that needs to have measured from the middle of your nose to each eye. Whereas my eyes are more, I don't know, lined up. I don't even know what you'd call it, but mine are just one. But yeah, see, it's good though that you know that, Andre, because now if you order from Zenny, you can put in the proper boop-a-doop. Because if you'd had a 68 and 68, one of those lenses would be all not centered properly to your vision, and you'd be in Headache City is what you'd be. And, right, you do not have symmetrical pupils. Exactly. And let's see here. So, I had something I was going to tell you about, but I don't remember what. So, you just looked at your prescription online? Nice. Oh, I remember what I was going to tell you guys. Okay, so, this is me being very petty. Not gonna lie, this is me being really petty, but this gave me a lot of satisfaction. I don't know if you remember, but there's this gentleman, I use that term loosely, in Seattle, Belltown specifically, and he owns a Dodge Hellcat, and he currently has $83,000 worth of fines to the city of Seattle for various and assorted offenses he has committed in his Hellcat. He has filmed himself doing over 100 miles an hour on the city streets, and he has a YouTube channel and an Instagram channel and a whatever he's got social media, probably Instagram actually. He's got a social media presence that basically exploits, shows off his exploits in his Dodge Hellcat Charger, and like I said, he has gotten $83,000 worth of fines due to this car. The car still is sort of in his possession, but not really because his mother, quote unquote, owns it, so the city hasn't been able to take it. Anyway, this gentleman had to go to court recently, not for his car stuff. For stuff way creepier. Because he's a creep. And guess what? He got arrested and he's gone to jail. So I'm going to show you him getting arrested and going to jail. Because I'm petty like that. And yeah, Andre, he always shows up for court masked. Oh, we'll talk about that after this.
Plus, the infamous Belltown Hellcat locked up for now. He faces reckless driving and disturbing domestic violence charges. At 5, Miles Hudson's antics in court and what this means for the notorious figure. The Belltown Hellcat taken to jail. 21-year-old Miles Hudson is held on a $7,500 bond for 2 separate criminal cases. Thank you for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Hannah Kim.
And I'm David Rose in for Matthew Smith. The owner of Seattle's most obnoxious car faces 2 reckless driving charges and charges in a domestic violence case involving stalking and releasing revenge porn. Fox 13's AJ Janabel in our newsroom now, and today we saw police there walking Hudson off in handcuffs.
David, a $7,500 bond equates to about $750 that he would have to pay. When you consider he owes more than $80,000 to the city, that's not that much, but we just checked. He still remains in jail. Now, when it comes to Hudson's charges today, this is one of the first times I've seen the court impose any actual accountability. But what might impact Hudson the most, coming from today, is the judge telling the pseudo-social media influencer that he can't post online anymore.
Miles Hudson, infamously known as the Belltown Hellcat, again unrecognizable in court Monday.
The defense position that this is a religious head wrap, is that correct?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you as an officer of the court.
I believe you stated that in the past,
So you're not willing to make that representation? But he stated that in the past. Mr. Hudson, is this a religious head wrap that you're wearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Still, his defense attorneys, Emma Reckart and Shelley Anderson, fought to prevent our cameras from being in the courtroom. Their reason was to protect Hudson's privacy for his right to a fair trial. Meanwhile, Hudson himself was broadcasting the hearing, posting content from the courtroom to his Instagram, where more than 750,000 people can see.
And he's not taking these proceedings seriously in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. So, Mr. Hudson, you can't film, all right? If you posted something on Instagram or Twitch, I'm going to give you a minute to use your cell phone to take it down.
Also during the hearing, Hudson's attorneys asked the judge for leniency, saying the Belltown Hellcat is broke.
This 21-year-old man is indigent.
But Hudson has this YouTube video currently connected to his Instagram, where he tells 954 Fast Pitch TV people need to stop complaining.
If you can hear my car, like downtown in Seattle, you live on like under the 15th floor. You need to get your money up and move up high. I'm gonna be honest with you. F your cats and f your children. I don't give a f. Wake the f up, Seattle. I don't care. Could anything stop you from making videos? No. They gonna have to lock me up, bro.
And that's exactly what happened.
Come here. And have the marshals take him into custody, please.
And interestingly enough, Hudson did not have a facial covering in that YouTube video just posted a couple days ago. Hudson is expected back in court next month. You can count on continued coverage. Back to you.
So, oops, hold on. So, yeah. Gina, you're more than right. It is a little satisfying. Hey there, Stick Snoopy. How you doing? We are here chatting about this, that, and tether. My name is Mad Statter. You're part of the Statterbox crew now. Welcome on in. And yeah, I'm telling you, that Belltown Hellcat driver, I mean, it's just like, now you get your wish, baby doll. And as it turns out, actually, I don't know if I think he stayed in jail overnight because so it was Monday. Okay, all right, let's start again. Today is Wednesday. Monday is when that video was made. So Monday is when he got arrested and taken to court. Tuesday, yesterday, he had to be in court again for the noise charges, the $83,000 fine charges. He didn't get any jail time with that. But as you can see from his attitude in the court, filming the proceedings, the domestic violence proceedings actually is what he was filming and posting on social media. He's so arrogant. He totally, and honestly, I mean, yeah, I just want to squash him like a bug. I really, really hope that eventually the legal hammer just goes down on him so hard. I don't care if it's the noise violations or if it's the, revenge porn, domestic violence. Frankly, I would prefer he get thrown in for domestic violence and revenge porn than the other, because when you go to jail and you've got domestic violence and you've got stuff like that, that puts you in a hierarchy in the prison system, the jail system. That's a lower tier offense that they don't look kindly upon. Now, granted, there are worse offenses that they look worser upon those people, but like domestic violence isn't what they can consider a good charge in prison. And I realize this is kind of a reversal of morality, but we're talking about prison here. And so, so like murder might be considered a good charge if you did it for a good reason, right? Being a child molester is never a good charge. You're always going to be the lowest of the low. Being a wife beater, also not a good charge. You're maybe one step above the chomo. And so I hope that he goes in on bad charges. And when I say bad charges, I don't mean trumped up charges, illegitimate charges, fake charges. I mean what other prisoners view as, oh no, we ain't gonna have none of you. You're gonna be hating life from the moment you enter till the moment you leave, kind of thing. And so, yeah. And so, and let's see here. And let's see, you just noticed that I lost the color of my hair. You like the highlights. Mitchie Mama, god dang it, you guys got good eyes. I didn't actually do anything with my hair except for I used a shampoo this weekend that helps to strip any kind of extra product and any kind of extra whatever. And so I lost a lot of color out of it, which was actually part of the plan. But god dang it, y'all, good eye. I didn't think it was really that noticeable. And good holding charges and not welcomed even by the prisoner. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. And let's see here. His actions are those of someone who is dealing with mental health issues. I guess. I don't know though, dude. I mean, a lot of people are dealing with mental health issues, and to me, honestly, I feel like, yes, it was a clarifying shampoo, Lady Misty. That's exactly what it was. Given where he lives and given his attitude about, if y'all live under the 15th floor, you need to get your money up and get money so you can move higher. He comes from a rich family. He comes from money. He has to. I mean, not only the fact that his mom owns the flippin' car for him that she bought for him. That's a very expensive vehicle. But I don't know this, but he has to come from money. Because nobody without that kind of money to back up their actions would have that kind of attitude. I mean, quite honestly, he's got an attitude of a rich white kid, and he ain't fucking white. Oh, I am so sorry. He's not white, you guys. Yeah, this is how much he gets under my skin. And he's obviously not white. So he's got to have some of that. His entitlement has to come from somewhere. Thank you, Rick. Yes, absolutely. I'm really sorry, you guys. You know that I try not to. Occasionally things slip out. That was me. That was the real me that just came out there, right there. I try to do flying, flipping forks. Other times, different words come out. And then we have to wash my mouth out with Prel, which is what those green dots are. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's a black, rich, spoiled kid, so he thinks he can get away with it. Yeah, regardless of the race, he's a rich, spoiled child. I think that we can all agree with that. He is a rich, spoiled child. And one day, I hope that he learns that, he can't get away with it. Yeah. And once again, you guys, apologies. Exactly, Puzzy Cat. I'm kind of embarrassed. I really do pride myself, because if you really hung out with me in real life, you would know how difficult it is for me not to do what I just did. I'm very sorry. And Andre, I don't think he's from Belltown. He lives in Belltown. I don't think he's from Belltown, because if he was from Belltown, I guess it depends on, now that you think about it. He might be from Belltown, because Belltown nowadays is a little bit hoity. It used to be scruffly and Artistville, but now it is a little hoity, now that I think about it. And Prel maybe preferred to Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy, yuck. I think Lifebuoy, wasn't that the one that they used in A Christmas Story when Ralphie said basically what I said, and then his mom put that big red bar of soap in his mouth? Wasn't the red bar of soap that? Oh God, I can taste it right now. My mom put a bar of soap in my mouth once. I don't remember what soap it was. I want to say Irish Spring. Either way, no. And Terry's saying yes, it was. And let's see here. Yeah, sometimes a little time in confinement to think about his actions and what he's what he might be subjected to in there might change his tune a bit. Exactly. That's fingers crossed, shall we? Think that. Oh, it's Life Boy, not Life Buoy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that soap in real life. I just know about it from that silly movie, and which really, that's one of the few Christmas movies that is just a joy to watch. Every time I watch it, it's a joy to watch. In fact, you know what? And I know everyone has seen it a million times because they show it constantly on Christmas time. But A Christmas Story, I think I'm going to try to get that for this Christmas, for the month of December at Satterbox at the Cinema. When we try to do holiday-oriented things, I think I'm going to try to get A Christmas Story. We haven't seen that one at Satterbox at the Cinema, and it's just a cute one. The four things that I love about that movie are when the dogs come in and eat the turkey, when the little brother is bundled up so much he can't move, when the kid sticks his tongue on the pole, and fragile. It's from Italy. It's fragile. It must be fancy. Those are my four favorite parts of the movie. Hopefully I didn't give any spoiler alerts. And the YouTube content creator status is given a huge false sense of worth. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is it's Mama Sean, yes and no. It's funny you should say that. So the clip that we saw here with the court, his defense attorney's like, he's indigent. He doesn't have any money, right? So he can't possibly pay blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, that might be true on paper. But that clip that the other television studio showed of him out of court during the interview where he had his attitude, if you don't live above the 15th floor, screw your kids, screw your cats, I don't give a that interview, if they had showed the whole interview, that clip actually includes the guy interviewing him asking, you owe $83,000. How long do you think it will take you to earn that to pay the city back? And he said, in all seriousness, less than 2 months. Because that's how many followers he has on his Instagram. That's how much money he makes. So he actually makes a fork ton of money. Way more than I do. If you can make 83 grand in 2 months, I can appreciate why maybe you feel like you're a little bit above the law. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you're above the law, baby doll. Not at all. Not at all. And let's see here. Yes, that is right, Pussycat. We are at the 2-minute warning. And so I want to... Yeah, so it is basically a slap on the wrist. That's why taking the car away and putting him in jail is quite literally the only flippin' punishment that's going to... Because if he keeps the car, he literally will just keep doing it. He has no reason not to. If you're making that kind of money, the incentive to keep doing what you're doing is there. Right? So there you go. And Andre, maybe he learned from the gangster rappers who said, I put my car in my mama's name. But here's the deal, y'all. He still lives with his mama. And one of the domestic violence charges against him is against his mama. Why? Because he got angry at her one day because she wouldn't make coffee. So, once again, a spoiled brat is what that guy is. And on that note of anger, which is not how I usually like to leave things, I want to thank everybody for putting up with my soapbox. Because I got on a box of soap today, let me tell you. But thank you so much for hanging out and putting up with me anyway. And I want to thank all the folks who came in with the raid. I want to thank the raider, Terry, the one who brought in the raiders. I want to thank the moderators, and I want to thank anybody who resubbed and gift subbed. I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out, because I'll tell you right now, dude, I had nothing major to talk about at all, and I really, for a second, thought about canceling because I just didn't know what to say. But then I saw Goofy doing his Goofy foot, and I was inspired. So, have a great rest of the week, you guys, and on Saturday, 6 p.m. West Coast time, West Coast USA time, we are going to watch Chinatown with Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. It's a black and white film. It's a film noir. It's got lots of pretty stuff in it, so let's do it. And Mods, thank you so much for everything. I don't think you had to do too much stuff, but if you did do too much stuff, you did it so smoothly, I didn't even notice. And all right, I'm going to say, hey, how's it, PPP Bang? We're going to be out of here, PPP Bang. Thanks so much, you guys. See you soon.